What's going on, guys? So you all may recall a while back I posted a video talking about products that I really like, products that I think would make great gift ideas, as well as products that I just think are really well designed, really well engineered, manufactured, and have great customer service backing them up. B&W is certainly one of those companies. I featured the companion hitch many times going back like 5 or 6 years. I featured pretty much all of their tow and stow products, as well as their continuum weight distribution product, which I only have a piece of here, and even their Gooseball connection, which drops into the factory puck location for a Gooseball connection on Ford, Ram, or General Motors trucks. Big fan of B&W. I think they are very well engineered products and some of the best in the industry. That said, even the best products sometimes experience some type of an issue, failure, or let's just say unintended circumstances that may have surrounded them. And that's what this video is about. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to dive straight into it. So I made a video, again, not too long ago, talking about some gift ideas and some product ideas that I really like. One of those is this B&W Companion fifth wheel hitch. I no longer use a fifth wheel connection in the bed of my truck. I use a Gooseball connection, and I absolutely love it. I love the fact that I don't have to have a super heavy fifth wheel hitch in the bed of my truck any longer. This one right here weighs about 160 pounds. It's pretty dang heavy. This is a 25,000 pound rated companion fifth wheel hitch from B&W. And I do believe this is probably one of the best, if not the best, fifth wheel connection hitches that you can put in the bed of your truck. That said, when I made that video and I was pointing the camera directly at this hitch, I mentioned that. And I also mentioned the fact that I had never heard of a single failure. And I shared that because I believe their products are incredibly well built. When you look at just the entire structure of everything, how it's designed, you know, how they use steel in all the right places, how they have essentially redundancy kind of baked into the upright arms that support the hitch head. I mean, it's just a really, really well manufactured product. They use thick steel where thick steel is needed. They used reinforcement steel where it's needed. It's just, like I said, a really, really good manufactured product. Well, after I posted that video, I actually had a subscriber. I'm just going to give you his first name. It's Bryce. He reached out to me, and this is the email he sent. He said, "Hi JD, I love your videos. I recently watched your videos on the best gifts for RVers. I noticed when you were talking about the B&W Companion fifth wheel hitch that you had said that you had never seen one fail as a result of an accident. I thought you might find these pictures interesting. Back in July, my wife and I were in an accident while towing our fifth wheel. We were using a B&W Companion slider hitch. The hitch appeared to fail in the accident. The head broke off of the base of the hitch, and the fifth wheel came forward and smashed the back window out of the truck and came to rest on the rails of the box of my truck. Now, normally I would have gotten a different brand of hitch after that, but the B&W hitch was so robust that the head was still attached fully intact to the PinBox of the fifth wheel when the tow company lifted our camper off the back of the truck. I would not get a different brand of hitch." And he puts double exclamation marks there. That B&W Companion was fantastic, and I will be purchasing another one when I replace the camper and the truck. Thank you. And he sent several pictures, which I'll share. And in the pictures, yeah, you can definitely see how the setup failed. I believe part of it, of course, is because with the slider setup, you're sliding on rails. And, you know, it's probably not quite as difficult to break the component that locks that into place. And once you have that forward momentum, that inertia, it's probably very difficult to stop that. And you can notice in the pictures how the upright arms that support the hitch head were deformed. And, you know, they're 1/4 inch thick, looks like stamped steel. And yeah, that's a tremendous amount of weight moving forward. So what was interesting is he replied to me after I told him, you know, this was crazy. Thank you for sharing the pictures. He replied to me with a little bit more information. So he said, absolutely, you can definitely use these pictures in your video, because I told him I'd be making a video. And he sent me more pictures of the overall damage. This is the part that kind of stands out. Considering we were traveling 55 miles an hour and I had to lock the brakes when somebody pulled out in front of us at the last minute because they did not look, all things considered, I feel the hitch held up well even though it failed. I was using a lot of the information I had gotten from your videos in regards to towing, since this was my first experience towing a fifth wheel, and I'm glad that I listened. Just let me know if you would like any more photos. And then he put Merry Christmas. So That's the crazy thing about this, is that you have a solid product when the product is put to the ultimate test. And the ultimate test is when you're involved in a collision. And if you look at these photos, a 55-mile-an-hour collision with the fifth wheel hitch, I honestly don't know what fifth wheel hitch would truly not come detached or have a failure point of some sort after that type of a collision, especially where you've locked up and then you actually hit something. But that's kind of crazy, and it's cool to see that they have such a reputation that even when something like that occurs, the customer's still really happy with the product. The fact that the hitch head stayed attached and the part that failed were these upright arms right here also says something. At some point, everything can fail. And that amount of forward energy would certainly be difficult for any hitch to be able to absorb without deflecting or bending. But I wanted to share this video because, again, I'm a big fan of B&W products. I'm a big fan of a lot of products that ultimately can still fail if subjected to the right type of forces or energy. And, the companion hitch is certainly a hitch that has one heck of a following. Again, if I ever went back to fifth wheel hitch towing and not using a goose ball, I would definitely use my companion hitch because I trust it that much. But at the same time, I do want to share these stories with you because I don't want anyone to believe that I'm going to just be biased and say, now that I know about a failure, I'm not going to share it. I mean, obviously, I'm sure more than just one of these have failed under certain extreme scenarios, and I would venture to say that's one heck of an extreme scenario, but I'd also like y'all's feedback. Tell me what you think. B&W makes a phenomenal product. It was pushed to the max. It was involved in a 55-mile-an-hour collision with a relatively heavy fifth wheel connected to it. The hitch head was able to deflect the upright arms, and it moved forward, smashed out the back window of the pickup truck, but the customer is absolutely still wanting to go back to a B&W companion. I do have a question, though. Do any of you think that there would have been less damage if it was a non-slider hitch? That's something that I would like to learn myself. If they had a conventional fifth wheel hitch that was not a slider, would there have been less damage, or do you think there would have been more damage? The sliding component that locks it in place, I'm not sure if that was the failure point and then it slid to the end and then that force of movement caused it to deflect and bend off, or if, it was already at its end point and it had nowhere to go, and that's why the hitch head moved off. I'm kind of in the frame of mind to where a 55-mile-an-hour accident hauling a fifth wheel would cause any hitch head to likely break off of its base. But again, that's pretty crazy, and it's definitely something I want to share with you all. So please drop a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any questions for the gentleman who was involved in the accident that you'd like me to ask him, I'd be happy to ask him. I'm sure he'll watch the comment section here and see what people think. But at the same time, how do you feel about the B&W Companion fifth wheel hitch after watching this video? Drop a comment below. I'd love to know your thoughts. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again very soon.